Hi, my name is Carley Elliers, and I'm here today with Sydney Willard, and I'm going to ask some questions to her about Sturge-Weber syndrome. So how long have you had Sturge-Weber syndrome?
My whole life.
And how did your parents and your family know that you had Sturge-Weber?
So when I was born, the doctors could tell that my face didn't really look as regular and stuff. So they took me and did some tests. My parents didn't know, or my family didn't know what I had or what it was. So they did a lot of research on it and stuff. And so they took me to a hospital, and the doctor looked it up, and it was did some searching and some tests, and it was he found out it was Sturge-Weber, and a birthmark.
After you found out you had Sturge-Weber, was there anything that changed for you throughout school or just throughout life for you that was different?
Just it kind of gets to my body a little bit. I feel like so I'm in and I have extra help and stuff, but other than that, I don't think it does. Yeah.
That's a great answer. So with your parents being around and knowing you have Sturge-Weber, are there any things you wish they did or didn't do, or that they would do differently to help you live your life to the fullest?
I don't think so. They do an amazing job. They take me to all my appointments and my laser treatments, and I'm just really grateful for how they help me if I need it and stuff, or if I have any problems.
That's great.
So shout out to you, Mom and Dad. Love you.
Shout out to Sydney's family. So you talked about your laser treatments. Can you describe a little bit of that and what it does for you?
So when I first started, we went to St. Louis Children's Hospital, and we went there for a couple years, and what they did there was they put me down anesthesia, and they put some stuff, and it made my skin have dark purple spots, and I didn't really like that as much because it kind of stood out a lot more and stuff, and I just didn't really like it. And then we started this a couple years ago. We heard about this new doctor in Chicago, and he does great work and stuff, and we go there twice a year, and the treatment that he does helps get my birthmark lighter and healthier, and it doesn't do any purple spots.
Okay, so that helps the port wine stain. It lightens it?
It lightens it, and it keeps it healthy.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so with the port wine stain, does that make you feel confident, or how does that make you feel when you're in social situations, or do you not notice it?
What do you mean by that?
So when you're out in public, do people ever ask you questions, or is it just you don't notice it?
People ask me questions hey, what happened? There's some people that ask, is it a sunburn? And that's pretty much all that's all the questions. But I sometimes sometimes I forget I have it until I look in the mirror and I just remember it. But that's the only time I really realize if people. But that's pretty much it.
Well, I'm glad you're really comfortable.
Yeah,
with
I'm comfortable.
Your birthmark and with everything going on for you. And is there anything you want to say to other Sturge-Weber syndrome patients or families of the patients?
Yeah. So if they get like diagnosed and like they have like birthmarks like around their face and they have to have laser treatments, it's hard at first, but like it's hard getting used to like all the doctors and like what all the medicine they give you, but when you get used to it, it is really easy. And just like sometimes it's fun. The doctors are really nice and helpful, and they warn you, they make you laugh if you're upset. And I love sometimes, the only time I don't like about having a laser treatment is I can't have breakfast. And sometimes I'm hungry in the morning. And so that's like the only downer part for me. But other than that, I kind of love it. But like, and you also get some naps in too when you're under.
That's
so but just all you can do is stay calm and just deal with the process, and it gets easier.
Definitely. It does get easier as you go on, for sure. One last question, because I know you've been to a couple of the conferences and we've met at a couple of the conferences. Is there any favorite parts that you've enjoyed from the conference, or any people you've met at the conference that you can relate to?
When I first started going to these, I met a few people, and I met these cute little girls named Marissa and Carley, and like they're like one of my best Sturge-Weber. They're like really fun and stuff. And a couple years later, I met this girl Carley right here. She's really funny and smart, and she gets a good laugh out of you. And Marissa does too, and Carley does too. They're very funny, and they're just really good. And that's one of my favorite parts, is meeting new people and making new friends and having this syndrome that we all have in common. And another thing I like is going to the kids camp and making nice crafts and cards, bags, and playing lots of fun games.
Yeah, it's in your drawing skills. She's got a good drawing skill.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for talking about Sturge-Weber syndrome, and I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
All right. Bye.
And cut.